course, the corners are leaking. We got to rebuild this. I'm going to try to salvage this if I can. If I can't, then it's all going to come out and it's going to be completely rebuilt, and I'll probably put a different sink in. It is 16 degrees right now, and in West Texas that's pretty cold. We'll show you what we've been working on. Obviously everything's gone. The most important thing was getting down to this frame here so I can see what all I need to replace at the bottom. It's pretty rotten right here. I don't know how long this thing's set like that, but quite a while. Yeah, it's a lot of work for an RV, but you know, the way I look at it is I didn't pay for this thing really. It's worth putting all the extra work in for my daughter to have her own place. Shaking the whole house trying to do this. This is what we're doing. That piece of wood probably would have been okay, but when I got down to this little section right here, it still had some moisture in it, so it's probably good to get rid of it. That's the particle board, and it's not in bad shape, but I cut out all the bad stuff pretty much. And this used to be a little slide out, and you could pull, it had a tire and stuff in it, you could pull this whole thing out. It's basically staying in here permanently. I got to clean all this up and replace this one piece of wood. Hopefully I can get it all the way to the front, and then frame up for the bathroom or the kitchen. Really nothing on the exterior here to attach it to, so I've got to build that if I do cut it. You know, they had these little inserts. You can't really see it, but there's an insert there that everything's set on. So most likely I'll end up having to build a frame. But pulled that one panel that had all the wiring for all the little meters and everything. Basically trying to pull all the wire out that's not needed. Most of it's 12 volt, but I really don't want to run 12 volt in here. Okay, I got a problem. I have two different kinds of PEX. One is Shark Bite and one is the older, just standard Great PEX and Quest, I guess. They're just slightly different. The PEX on, or these Shark Bite PEX are slightly thicker, so I've never had so many problems trying to get the ends on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat them up, see if I can't make this process a little easier. I did manage to get that on, but I don't know how I'm going to get this on without heat. Got all this PEX put in, and I think I had to run and get this coupler, put that in. I think I have everything the way it should be. Get all this stuff fixed. It's actually pressured up. That's working without leaking. And it goes around, and I added these 2 connections so I can hook the sink up real easy. Once I get all this framed in, then I'll be able to mount those up against the wall. And then I started working on these plugs for the holes that were in the floor. This one here, I've got them kind of sticking up so I can glue them and then hammer them down the rest of the way because they're pretty tight. They need to be tight, and I'm going to use some Gorilla Glue on that to try to, really make that stick good. After that, then it's just mainly, there's a few little things I've got to do in the front here to get it completely sealed up, and then I can start putting the floor in. Just seems to be taking forever. Well, if it ends up being a little high, I'll sand it. But I honestly don't know if we're going to take all this linoleum off or not. So it may not be necessary. So what I want to do now is I want to check out this flange here and see if I can put the toilet on the existing toilet flange. Okay, I have it cleaned up. I'm going to have to wedge this forward slightly, kind of like I've got right here. And it looks to me like I've got to build a base to hold the toilet, but I think it's going to work. I think it will work and allow me to use a full-size toilet in here. I went ahead and just decided to frame the outer part of this in, or just do the frame. This is what it looks like. That gives us something to attach all of those screws to that are on the outside. Most likely. There you go. That's about right. Is it sticking out too far? Probably. Up here? Is it flush?
It looks like it is.
Okay, so what I can do is I can run some screws down. On this side pretty much ran before I put this wall up. This up here is going to be for the overhead microwave vent system, and I'm pretty sure it's 30 inches, so it's going to be well within the 30 inches because I'm planning on using this as the exhaust port. Probably just close this up. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put another one over here. Get a plug here. The only thing I have left to do is throw some insulation in there. And I've got to figure out these corners. I'm not sure what they were attempting to do on these corners. It's kind of messed up. I'm going to use the same material. It's 5/8, or actually that's 3/4. This is a 1-inch piece, so I'm 1/4 of an inch off, because when I'm done I want it to be flush, and then I'm going to start building the cabinets and stuff after I finish this side. This side's going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to turn these 2x4s sideways, assist it to this, and go across and make it where this whole thing is out 3.5 inches. It's going to be a lot closer to where this is, because this is not moving ever again, and it'll allow me to transition these two pieces very easily. So this is my goal. I need to seal that side, and then I need to come over here and build this side back up and try to seal it, because we have rain chances. Okay, it's really windy today, so I can't really get probably very good audio, but this is what I'm doing. I'm cleaning this up to reseal it. Once I get this all back sealed up, and I can work on the floor. I want to try to get the floor done, and then I'm going to work on this, reinforcing this back and forth. I'm going to leave that and then sister everything together, and I don't know, maybe once I get it all mounted I'll put some 3/4 inch up, and that way whatever I hang in this area will be able to be hung on the wall and won't fall out. Ryan's about to go get a full-size sheet of this 3/4 inch, because we've got everything framed in. The outside's trimmed, sealed, and all that good stuff. So what I need to do now, I'm actually going to build a frame that goes down to this piece here, but that's not structural enough. I'm going to lay another piece right next to it. And so what I need to do is build, particularly on these corners, there's nothing sticking out to put the floor on. I've got to build some support for the floor around each edge. And then we should be able to cut two pieces out, one that goes across here and then one that goes across there. Didn't get to really film this, but I had a phone call and then things just got kind of busy. But I went ahead and put this up. It was no big deal really. All I had to do is cut these out. I've got to go ahead and set this one here, cut it to fit, and I need to do something about this because I'm planning on using this as the portal for the plug. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do at this point. Once I have this on, then I'll do the top, and then I can overlay it with the exterior wood that I'm putting up, or interior wood, and start figuring out how I'm going to do the sink. And I'm hoping today I can get all the walls up, really. Let's see what happens.